So for me, this is it, and I'm conscious many of you have carried us this far, but this is our opportunity, and I think if we play our cards right, we change it forever. We absolutely rewrite the rules. We don't just get another MP, we don't just get another council. We actually get to pause and say it needs to be more transparent, it needs to be fairer, it needs to be more democratic, it needs to belong to the people who put the elected officials there. We get to reverse the equation. The dramatic thing about Thursday, normally what happens is a political event takes place, like tonight. The journalists attend, they take the notes, they write it up, and then the people read what the journalists say happened. What happened on Thursday is the relationship was reversed. The political event happened, the residents made their judgment on what happened, and the journalists had to report that. We reversed the relationship on Friday. Liberal and Liberal Democrat leaders have argued for years for leaders' debates. And I think the commentariat on Wednesday was saying, what would Paddy Ashdown have been like? What would Charles Kennedy have been like? What would Joe Grimond have been like? The relationship of the exposure would have been utterly different. And that's what changed on Thursday, and that is one of three. I should add, for 15,000 postal voters in this seat, it's actually only one of two. When Nick Clegg stands up on Thursday, it's eve of poll for 15,000 postal voters in this seat. It's only when he stands up the following Thursday is eve of poll for the rest of us who don't have a postal vote. So it's all to play for next Thursday for a quarter of the voting electorate. So for me, on these issues, on local policing, on healthcare, 7-day functioning transport system, we used to have one, better schools, on these local issues and much, much more, we have an amazing track record and we have to sell it over the coming days. But I think it's more than that. If you want a liberal and tolerant Britain, if you want thoughtful and democratic politics, and there's a lot in there, if you're against the war in Iraq, if you are worried by the drift of mission in Afghanistan, if you're troubled by the rise of the surveillance state, then it's time that we broke it forever. If you want banking reform and not bonus protection, if you think we should offer asylum and be intelligent about Europe and migration, then it's time to vote for the Liberal Democrats. If you believe, as I do, that climate change is here and real, and we have a responsibility not least on a parochial level to the 10,000 Bangladeshis in this borough who ring home each time their country floods, then you have a choice this time. You can either stay at home or you can get out there and win this thing. I hope you'll join me.
Yeah.